Intel Extreme Master Chicago is brought to you in part by Intel, AT&T, Acer Predator, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
A juicy matchup for us to indulge in. Astralis North, two Danish teams from one of the strongest, if not the strongest nation in Counter-Strike at the moment. Astralis and North about to duke it out. I'm joined by Lurpis and Sponge to talk about this one. I am your host, Machine. And gents, we haven't got the world of time, but we want to cover this as best we can. And let's not forget, actually, Lurpis, recently offline, North have got the better of Astralis over in Stockholm.
Yeah, but that was an in-game leader and an opera ago, and quite a few bad results ago. So,
Okay.
you know, we'll just
if we can
not
grab
worry
that
about
one
that one.
throw it in the bin.
Twice.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened twice.
That one's
Two
gone.
best of threes. You can't.
That one's gone, Alex.
Oh,
It's
fine.
gone.
All right.
It's somewhere over there.
Well,
Nowhere
maybe,
here.
maybe they can make new history today. There is definitely a rivalry between these two teams, and you're right, though. Big roster shuffle with North bringing in Cadian.
You want the silver lining. The core, Valda, Kyobi, and AZ now know that they can beat them in big matches. That is the silver lining. They've moved past that mental edge. For Cadian and Gay, that's something they still have to do. But their new approach here in the one game that worked for them today against NRG, the Gambit pick of Case, you know, actually floating that and having to play it and surprising NRG, you're not doing that against an Astralis. It's a completely different ballgame right now.
Gade and Cadian, they really have just been on the hunt for talent to make this roster do what it set out to, right? This wasn't a team created to be the second best team in Denmark. This was a team to surpass and to prove what they were capable of on an international scale.
No, and the funny thing is when they actually originally were picked up by North in early 2017, you could argue that perhaps they were almost as good as Astralis.
Sure.
Apart from the last couple events at the end of 2016, North actually had done really well. They won Epicenter, they were looking really good, but you no longer have Config, no longer have Magisk. It's a whole new team.
Now, I see the vetoes. This is a best of three, so they hold a lot more weight.
Yep.
Now, the conversation would be, North have the chance to pick their best map, the map they consider themselves the best on, and we get an answer to that right here.
Yeah, Inferno. The interesting one here is because they've forced out the respect ban of Case. Previously, that could have been a floated ban from Astralis, but the fact they've showed that they've played it is Astralis' weakest map. They're not even going to play with fire there. Going to Inferno, we did see in the opening round of Blast, MIBR push Astralis to the distance, so it's a map where they've shown weakness, especially if they can't get utility going. And right here, right now, Astralis are going to see if they can keep that streak alive. They'll be aiming for 22 in a row offline on Nuke, so that's a huge one. They're so confident in that map, happy to pick it against anyone.
22 now.
I do like the fact that they literally just pick it, no questions asked. As soon as it's
Great.
there, we're going to Nuke. Not even worried about who they're playing against on it.
Well, yeah, they started versus MVP on Nuke as well. So it's like, well, this is a map we haven't lost in, what is it now, 6 months?
It's crazy.
A long
sure,
time.
we'll pick it
A long
again.
time.
Yeah, we'll pick it again.
I
Don't
do
blame them.
think North must have been aware that that was going to come, though. So I imagine Ave has done quite a bit of work to get ready for that map.
For sure, and this is where we have to see if the preparation, you know, having the Gambit of Cage to start off the day, if they actually have to back up that firepower. Remember, they weren't at Blast, right? They could sit back, they could watch, they could identify tendencies that they... And we know that Astralis are in a weaker point right now than what we've seen since this era has kind of dawned on us, and they've been the most dominant. They've shown the fact that they can bleed, and they need to make sure that they can stomp away any of that doubt in a tournament like this, because it is the most competitive tournament we are going to have for the final quarter of the year. This is the one where they can really cement themselves as a top team, and another one for the Intel Grand Slam. So a lot of pressure is now weighing on them, whereas North still have the opportunity as a team coming up, kind of finding their identity to play that looser CS ever since Cadian has come in as the in-game leader.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be very intriguing to see how these guys interact on, of course, our first map, Inferno. I want to set our sights on that one for a moment, Tommy. Now, Astralis, this is, I was about to say one of their strong maps. I have to just correct myself. They're all strong maps, but of course, an 83% win rate in the last 3 months. That's daunting for North.
They're really good on Inferno, but like you said, they're pretty good on just about every map that they play. The one thing, like Chad said earlier, they had a bit of a scare against MIBR in Copenhagen. I think similarly against Cloud9 there. So I think also Inferno is a map that isn't necessarily the easiest to be dominant on. It's such an open map that it's kind of easy. Just trade a couple kills here and there and potentially win rounds, even if you're not the best team around. So I think it's a map particularly where if North get pistols, they can get something going and potentially scare Astralis.
Sure, I'm going to agree with that sentiment. Just to give people the idea of these teams and how much they've been playing over the last 3 months, Inferno is the most played map for Astralis in the last 3 months, 23 times. This is not exclusively on LAN. This is online as well, because we've had to factor that in. North is depth isn't as much on land, right?
Sure.
So out of that, they've won 19, they've lost 4. When you look at the north side of things, they've played this map, where are we at here? They've played it 11 times, they've won it 8, they've lost it 3. So Astralis, obviously they've been together for a longer period of time as a team, and they've also played it more within the last 3 months, and they're still, in my opinion, the best team in the world. So they have a lot of little tendencies which you can identify. Obviously, the way that they take Banana is an example on the T side, Device and Magics, it's a spawn-based thing. If I talk about this time and time again, because I'm surprised no one's worked out a way to isolate and, you know, beat this situation that's going on there. Some of the other things that I want to look at for North on their CT sides, they take a lot of gambles, but they do it as a team. It's not completely random. They actually have set plays and set moves on their CT side. And they always used to do that with MSL as well. So maybe this is just something that the Danish scene does, whereas Astralis, obviously the leader of the Danish scene, they don't need to do as much because they have the fundamentals down so well. So look for those gamble pushes on the CT side of North coming out.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
And arguably, I think actually Inferno CT is one of those maps where you kind of do need to take some gambles because you're not winning all the rounds if you're just playing a 3-2 setup on the CT side, letting the terrorists execute in peace, take over map control. You kind of have to play aggressive early on, and a lot of the time that results in one of your players going down if you take over Banana, and then you just have to gamble a little bit.
Yeah, and that Astralis smoke that Chad doesn't stop pointing out, it's powerful. It really is, and we're seeing more and more teams using it.
Yeah, just basically with those Molotovs, just for people not aware, when the Banana control comes in from the CTs, they're going to throw the standard 2 Molotovs. The spawn-based situation from Magics and Device, they're obviously supported with flashbangs, but they push into those Molotovs, and that sounds crazy, but they're extinguishing it with their own smoke, which means now they can stay in limbo. The CTs have already used 2 of their biggest parts of utility, and really they either can stay at limbo at the top of Banana, where HEs are coming and Molotovs of the Ts are going to follow through, or they have to drop back. And you see how that works against a team like MRBR. They just go back to the bomb site. They don't even contest that. They have to then work in a mid-round move, and that's where aggression over towards this A bomb site happens. So if I was North, I would look to kind of seek out the guys doing the default over towards the A bomb site early, Alex.
Okay, we'll keep our eyes on that. Now, we actually do have more time than anticipated. Sounds
lovely.
like Steam have decided to get that update rolling, which does mean we have plenty of time to talk. And actually, what I want to do is seize this opportunity to do something that we couldn't do earlier, show you the brackets so you can get your head around how day one has been shaping up, and we can hear the insights of these 2 beautiful people here on the panel. But it's Group A. Tommy, I want to just hear your observations as you cast your eyes over that upper and lower bracket.
Really just a little bit shocked that MVP actually picked me against Astralis. That's the first thing that sticks out. Though admittedly they had a pretty good first half. It's just not enough against them. North came back. They were down I think 1-7 against Energy when I was up in my hotel room before coming down here. That actually looked like Energy was going to take them down. Kind of surprised that they managed to come back in the end. Of course, Ethan and I think some of the other Energy players were tweeting saying they threw the match. It wasn't really theirs, but at the same time, you got to give the credit where it's due, right?
Yeah.
North really mixed up their game from that point onwards.
Yeah, and I mean, MIBR Renegades, I think, is probably the highlight for me, other than... Actually, you know what? I have to take that back.
That one looked a little scary there for a moment.
It really did, but actually it keeps coming because that LDLC FaZe clan, that's a 16-14 that I don't think FaZe are going to forget.
Now, here's the thing. You know, LDLC online, we know that they have those sporadic up and down results. They definitely have star players who can turn heads occasionally, but nothing to really put stock in for longevity, right? They look like they're streaky players. Here to push FaZe, who we know are in battle at the moment, but still on their best map, the map that they go to time and time again to the distance. Props to them.
Yeah.
Speaking of upsets, by the way, Navi down 6-16 against
you
United.
Stole my segue.
I did steal it. But I mean, that's the one that was on the B stream in the green room. Kind of just flew by us. No one's really worried about it until it's I think 6-12, and it's like, whoo!
Hang on a second.
Hold on. 14-16. Navi can still do it, I think.
Isn't this par for the course for Navi, though? They always start a tournament by losing the opening game. Like, it just tends to happen every time.
It's day one. In fact, I've got some examples. Are you ready for this? Blast, day one. They lost their first game. Major, that was one of the first games they lost aside from the final, was on day one. And I'm sure there's another example. ESL won Cologne. Actually, the tournament they won, they lost the first opening game.
But here's the difference, Alex. Those are all tournaments that are not double in group stage. You don't instantly set yourself one game away from elimination, which I think is the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, Copenhagen was round robin, right? So whether you lose the first or you lose the fourth might not necessarily matter. But I think this is much worse for them because now they really do have to win all the remaining games just to get out of group stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, actually, we have a little bit of extra time just to remind you about something I talked about earlier. It was Movember. Now, Chad.
Yes.
I believe I've been keeping an eye on that donation goal.
Yeah.
We've got some stretch goals. Do you want to walk us through some of your favorites?
Let me just bring these bad boys up. When we did this 2 years ago in Brazil, we did some silly bits and pieces, and we're planning on doing the same kind of silly stuff once again. The first one that we were going to hit was, it doesn't seem like a big one, but it's a great one to kick it off. I've got to get the capitalization correct here before I can get to the webpage.
It's bit.ly/CS case_Mo.
Yes, but it needs to be case sensitive for viewers at
Get
home.
it in caps.
Yes, make sure you have it in caps. But basically, the first stretch goal that we were doing was, I've had this lovely beard now for a year.
I don't know what you look like without a beard.
I've forgotten as well. I feel like I will look a lot less grumpy, but I don't know yet. So basically, I'm allowing Trace to shave a mustache into my face, and we're going to use the residual hair, if we hit the stretch goal, I think it's 4,000, to create a mustache for Henry, who is unable to grow his own facial hair.
Yeah, but he'll have yours.
Yes. So we're going to use, I think we're going to use, this is probably the best
That's
stuff.
what I call teamwork.
Yeah.
This down here, this is the best stuff.
Okay, that's the real premium.
Yeah. So we're going to use, this is making up the gist of the mustache.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's a stretch goal to be reached. Where are we at right now? Looks like we've already got our first stretch goal met.
So we are at 1,590 pounds. So we're on our way to our second, which will be, I've done some trivia questions, and Jason and Henry will be answering those with a twist of shock collars. So we like to inflict pain on one another here.
Yeah, we like to just have a lot of fun here. But of course, it is in the name of charity. And if you're not familiar with what Movember is, I just want to encourage you to head to that link. There'll be information there as well as resources to educate yourself further. But it is a fantastic cause through the month of Movember. People are growing moustaches to raise awareness for men's health, both mental and, of course, for male prostate cancer.
You know what I just noticed as Chad was on the website there is, this has all been set up in pounds. I feel like whoever did that, might have hedged a little bit. Because it, would have been easier to reach some of the higher levels in, say, dollars.
Yeah, or Zimbabwean dollars. I mean, we can do whatever you want.
Well, the thing is, US dollars still feel about the same. It's only in the pocket where it doesn't.
Sure.
But as a goal, it's kind of up there.
Look, we did it the first time round. We had Henry sign it up. So that's kind of why we ended up. And then we've just carried through with Movember UK. So
and it's a UK charity as well. At least that's where their HQ is.
Yeah.
It started off, of course, worldwide.
Nice
at
recovery.
This point. Thank you. Yes, we saved it. And probably we should save it by getting back on track. We'll move back into the counter-strike as we get hopefully closer to the game between Astralis and North. I'm just want to remind everyone that we have MIBR FaZe today. And I want to just touch on that now, Tommy. I know, of course, MIBR close to your heart. FaZe Clan, though, not an easy task.
No, I mean, I think realistically, FaZe hasn't looked fantastic. I think in the last couple of months they've had their struggles. They won Epicenter. That's, sort of their way back in. But again, against LDLC, like Chad said, that was on Mirage. That's sort of their bread and butter. That's the one you'd really expect them to, just come up with a clean win. But at the same time, MIBR had their own struggles. So that's going to be a good game. Lots of history in that series.
Hell yes, there is. We'll be focusing on that one when we get to it. We have a best of 3 before that. And before that, that's right, before we start getting into Astralis versus North, we're going to fill the time with something I have a lot of interest in. They spoke to the players about the new and shifting meta of Counter-Strike. It's a speed session, and I'm excited to see what they said.
It's always been it's been a good question for a long time for the team, like how to play the first 3 rounds.
Oh, but we're giving away our tactics that way then. New meta in Counter-Strike, I don't know, we still didn't find out what is the best.
Our team is still figuring out the new meta. We're just trying out different things, buying in different rounds for certain maps, but I mean, it's always good with changes. It's fun, just new things to adapt to.
I think people are just trying to find which ways works best for them. For us currently, we still forced by the second round to reset the other opponent's money. So, yeah.
I think it was a great thing. Causes change, causes adaptation.
It's good because it can be like less dominating than before. So I think it was a good change for everybody.
It's harder to read how teams will do. Like the second round, you can either do a full eco, you can do a full buy, and even have a strong buy on the 4th round.
The teams should understand when they need save, when they don't have chance to win the round, when they need to move to other round and forget about this one,
I think it depends on at least for our sake, what map we're playing and what opponent we're facing. So I don't think you can actually put a pattern right now in what we're doing. I think it depends on how we feel and how we want to approach the match.
So some unanswered questions. Finally, get some answers and some voices behind it. Some CSGO ASMR, I think, there. I could hear the inside of Oscar's mouth.
I think it's fantastic in a couple of ways, this change, right? I think the idea that it adds variety, and Dupree hit the nail on the head. That's what I was going with there. That, you know, it does open more variety. I think it's map dependent. I think it's team dependent. I think it's playstyle dependent. I think that's all cool. We need to be very careful in how we use our lingo when describing these things, though, because we are all accountable. The players, us here behind the desk, obviously the public, the way that they perceive things, everybody who's out there with a mantle to talk about things need to be careful the way that they describe things. Because we make changes happen when we don't want that thing to be changed. We explain the problem incorrectly. And by doing that, we are giving Valve the wrong information. So by saying, you know, it's going to make things more even, that's not necessarily the case. That doesn't. And first of all, I could go on a rant for a year right now, but I'm not going to. Why do we want parity on every single map or every single situation in Counter-Strike?
We don't, chat.
Exactly. So we need to remember what makes Counter-Strike Counter-Strike and get to the core of that and define that before we sit here trying to change or pointing at problems that we haven't clearly defined. And that is me on my little soapbox right now.
I like it.
But it looks like maybe we'll be underway soon.
Yeah, sounds like things have been resolved, and as soon as players take to their seats, we will be jumping over to the casters in theirs as the headsets do go on. I want to just quickly outline those expectations that we were touching on before. The first map is Inferno. This is North's pick, of course, with Cadian at the helm as well. What are your expectations? Do we get to see a third map? Does anyone side with North here?
I think if it goes all 3 maps, that North are definitely in with a shot, just considering how shaky Astralis have looked in recent times. Mirage is the third. It's always a middle ground map, especially for both these teams. Very brawly. That's where the likes of Dupree is going to have to step up and go toe-to-toe with the Kyobis, the Azes of the world. But I don't see this going past the 2. I think, you know, the gamble stacks, that kind of play that's going to come out from North, it's hard to make that work time and time again, and you have to know it's coming if you're Astralis, and Nuke's in their back pocket. I'm giving that one 100% of the time.
So a lot of weight on Inferno here, Tommy.
Yeah, I agree with Chad. I think Astralis is going to take it in 2. With that being said, I think the way North can steal Inferno is just taking a lot of risk on the CT side and somehow getting to, like, you know, 9 rounds on the CT side and then just having a solid T side half. But even then, Mirage is, you know, it's not an easy win.
Strong defensive start needed from North on their map pick. They take it to Inferno to start off the best of 3. A spot in the semis on the line. And speaking of semis, it's your casters. It's going to be Sadakist and Henry G.
Semis, chubbies, all of the above. Henry, how we doing? It's Inferno, and it's the Danish, I hate it, but Darby.
The Danish Dynamite.
There you go, all right, I can do that.
There you go. Astralis
It's a little better.
I've casted them on this map so many times recently. North have actually come out on top a couple of times, albeit online. Astralis not looking their absolute best after Blast, but it all comes down to this map. It's Nuke second, the vetoes to be expected, and that's where North probably won't win, so they're going to have a chance in this best of 3. It has to be Inferno. Not a great start as Dupree opens things up with a stunning headshot there. Takes down Kyabi. It's going to be a quick 5 versus 4. Device wants a bit more of the action there as he narrowly misses out on the second kill. 1 smoke, a Molotov, actually 2 smokes, take that back. And there's still a chance here for North, but they come to a bit of a standstill here. Just going to be holding up and seeing what the next move is.
Well done, AZ, trying to clear out the apartment positions, and Boiler included. Keep in mind as well that this will be the first time you and I, Henry, will get a chance to see Cadian on LAN. So I'm obviously in the Pro League, in-game leading now for Northgate as well. Getting farmed, potentially, you could say, by the Optic roster, and now arrives back on to North. So that was job well done, I suppose, for him. Going against a team who took down MVP on the unbeaten map that is Nuke. It was closer than it should have been in the first half. Device, Dupree, they're showing off that this one doesn't want to be close at all. Eventually will go down to Katie as he oversteps the mark from Pit, but he's got all of his teammates in the position to try and catch them off as they retreat. Bomb goes down, Katie in the last alive, and no bomb plant on that. I thought of the interview before the game, it was interesting talking to players like Exist, etc., about their mentality about the new meta, and if they're going to purchase, if you save, there's a lot more options. My question is, and I want to say it's going to be Gobby, who's going to be the first to do something completely out of the blue?
I think we're still waiting for. We thought Blast we'd see something like that, but we didn't see any anomalies or any interesting new approaches, to be honest. But that's still a very early change. Maybe they're a bit tentative to bring something revolutionary out at such a big event without a lot of time to practice.
We only had 1 best of 3 at Blast, and that was the final.
Indeed.
You might, if you're going to see it, like best of 1s are pretty cutthroat. You might see it in this event where you're going to get a few more best of 3s along the way.
Well, let's hope so, Matt. I'm definitely excited to see what can be done. This is the full eco, but somehow North have got the opening pit. They take down Zipex. They try and capitalize upon that. They're using the smokes now. They're making their way towards B. Glades in the open by the fountain, getting headshot a couple of times, but he's absolutely fine. It will be 2-0. Only 1 kill found. It started off in an exciting manner there for North, but ended with a bit of a damp squib there. No bomb going down either of the rounds, but they still have enough of the AK-47s. Astralis can purchase 1 more rifle, 1 player going down. Actually, believe it or not, maybe helped him a little bit there with the couple of M4s now. The one for Mass, it's going to be an MP9 for Dupree, and Glaive with the UMP. They're looking pretty healthy with the utility as well. A little bit of residual cash on 3 of the players, but this is the chance for North to have the advantage with the firepower, and to see if they want to maybe just go for something quick and ball the way in towards the B-bomb site, but it looks more like a default to me right now.
Flash is brilliant. Kiabi stands in the open, white screened, and defenseless against a double peek from the top of mid. So he going down gives the opening pick to Magisk. Device now holds off toward the cubby. The rotation toward Library will be supported, in fact, by Glaive. Leaves one player only on B. Zipix. They said this at Blast as well. This was something that was in one of the interviews when they talked about, I think it was Dupree even talking about his teammate, talking about it was the, know the pro segment.
Yeah.
That he's always in the hard spot, he's always alone, and he has to focus on staying alive. And here we go again. He does now have Glaive rotating back over just based on time. That nade's going to be juicy.
Ouch, that really was.
But this is where Zipix shines, right? So that's his value to a team. When you have a map that you can rotate based on information or based on reliability, and he gets 2 kills immediately, Glaive will chime in for one more. But he's such a valuable asset to the team. Same with Ramp on Nuke. Look at the record on Nuke.
Yeah, he's unreal in his role. So smart, so disciplined as well. Always makes sure he does what it takes to win the round, not to have the personal highlight reel. And to be fair, that's a pretty sick round. It all begins with Astralis knowing they've got a disadvantage of the firepower. So why not go for a quick pick? We've got these world-class aim stars within the lineup. Go for a flash, find one, funnel them towards B. And like we said, that's where Zipex is waiting, and he's absolutely fine with the flash.
I was hypothesizing earlier while you were, I think you were at lunch or somewhere. We were in the green room. It was Chad, Trace, and I, and I want to say someone else was there.
Sounds good already.
Anyway, we were hypothesizing about the fact that if you lose pistol on the T side but win round 3, if you had an effective round 2 and forced reinvestment, you're actually in a better position as the Ts for losing the pistol because you can break the economy so quickly. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I genuinely think, as the statistics show from this meta, that it's like the T sides are going to have such a huge advantage even though they lost the pistol.
Yeah, you just have to bear in mind that's a huge if. You still have to win
Absolutely,
the third round, right?
No, sure. I just think there'll be more halves that go T-sided in the mid-half.
Yeah,
as opposed to like the starter at the end where we see momentum.
Yeah, I do think it makes for a more interesting early sector instead of just the usual, okay, lose the pistol, force by in the second, full eco. It was so scripted before. Now it's like there's a few different outcomes with the bombs and then options still to force by in the second round. It gives us an extra option in that regard. So it's still interesting, I think. We're still enjoying it, at least. It's a bit different. As we'll see the pistols come out now in full force, but they're being mowed down one by one. Gade does get 2 with the Tech 9. That's towards middle. I don't think he gets another as Magisk is waiting, and Glaive to close things out. It is going to be 4-0. Like I said, this is a best of 3, and with Nuke second, Matt, Astralis with this particular lineup have not lost an online or LAN game on Nuke, and it's a bit of a death sentence. You lose Inferno, go to Nuke against Astralis, you're probably not winning this best of 3. They are unstoppable on that current map right now. Interesting that MVP chose to play that against them earlier, but I guess maybe they thought they had a strategic edge. And I'm pretty sure North knew going into this one as well. This is likely to be the case, and they're going to have something at their sleeve. It's a map they do play, but remember, this is still a new lineup with Cadian coming in, taking over the in-game leading responsibilities from MSL. It's going to take him some time to bring his own system in where he wants to have all his players set up. There's Ave behind him. 1.6 Legend, I'm sure, has been helping out in a dramatic fashion, trying to get them ready for this particular matchup, but we'll see where this round leads. The AWP is out for the first time for Cadian. And so it's the same story for Device, as he'll bring out the AWP on the CT side, of course. Always interested to see where he goes. So dynamic on this particular map. Likes to be aggressive, but always does what it takes to win the round. Doesn't overcommit.
Cadian and AZ together toward the top of the mid stairs. AWP for Cadian. He'll try and look to see if anyone challenges for position. Second gun round brought out by North. AKs, and of course that AWP does boost it slightly over the first time. Cadian really being optimistic with his shots, and it's Gade that took damage. That misled me for a minute because the red showed up at the exact time his shot was fired, but Gade took damage from a nade rather, excuse me, at mid. Glaive will hold it aggressively, waiting to see what utility will be deployed in his direction. It's not full commitment onto Banana as of yet. They've certainly cleared it. They've got the map control from it on the north side, but as you can see on the mini-map, there is, and exactly that, an attack going on at the apartments. Volda easily able to take down Magisk as well. Your cough button didn't work, Henry. How dare you clear your...
Okay, this is the cough button. Doesn't work. Hello? Nope.
No, this is the cough button.
Ah.
There's 2. All right, to be fair, on this board, you can set it up different ways. So that's...
We're cool now. Didn't ruin any moment.
We cool.
It's all fine. They've got the opening pick. That's Valda. But Device is still alive and kicking. You can see North prospering towards middle. We'll see whether they can actually set themselves up. They're getting towards the end of the apartments. But Dupree and Glaive have rotated towards B. They've taken a massive commitment here. Device will be left to his own on the bomb site here. We'll see whether he can do much with this. He's going to have multiple players in the pit and keeps delivering pain here. This is absolutely stunning so far. He's done his job. He's delayed them so much. And what a rotation that is. They've got the bomb down. It's 3 versus 1. And Cadian's got probably the worst weapon for the job here. And 10 seconds remaining.
That's, not the right position to be in. Trying to get that bomb planted yet again. 5 rounds in, we've yet to have a bomb plant for North, by the way.
Yeah.
Bit of a problem. That says that it's not really even close when you consider that, because you're not meeting the first point of the objective.
Well, they got the first kill and some map control. They rotated all of the Astralis players to B, apart from one key man. That's Deve. And he's holding on the site, hits absolutely every shot, shuts them down one by one. And you can see how gutting that was for North. They're going to rebuy into this one with the maximum loss bonus. An MP5 and a UMP comes out. Definitely a team that are capable of winning these sort of rounds, but it doesn't look too promising. Dupree will fall back as the flames are thrown in his direction towards the barrels there. Bomb down at T-Spawn suggests this will be quite the slow affair. Gade, KRB, and Valda holding towards second middle, as Caden AZ will go through their motions now just to obtain the banana control. You can see it's the MP5 leading the way. Not the most ideal weapon, considering Zipex loves to play those sandbags positions, but luckily won't be there right now.
Top mid for Device, and he'll have company. Oh, that timing. Gets around the corner. Actually, they've sold this. The single fake is going to work. Thankfully, Dupree steps up to find 2. Volt is tagged to 11 as well because they were rotating out. They had Molotovs and smokes thrown toward B and 2 players falling off of Banana. If not for Dupree's positioning and good skill, this round goes the way of North. They may not get anywhere. Another bomb plant lacking. 11 HP and 2. Although they'll stick it, they'll get it this time inside of the smoke. So a bit extra cash to go along with the max loss bonus.
That's pretty much all this round's going to do for them, unless someone goes absolutely bananas with that AK. It has to be Valda, really. They're going to be taken down one by one. It's lucky they even got the plant down in this situation. The retake will begin. I'm almost guaranteeing this one for Astralis at this point. We'll see whether this retake is successful. AZ waiting tentatively in the pit as the smoke comes down towards position. This is actually getting a little bit uncomfortable for Astralis. They are running out of time here. The defuse will come down. We're going to watch the apartments like a hawk, presumably. Valda.
Look how close he was. All he had to do is swing out wide and see it, but he couldn't get the angle. He couldn't get the gap, and he wants to stay alive to keep the AK at this point in time. You're right. As soon as they got on that defuse, that was close. They let a lot of time bleed out in that round.
Well, I guess all that really matters is the fact they win the round, but the bomb does get planted. Remember that maximum loss bonus that keeps North in the game. Sure, the scoreline doesn't look great right now, but they still have another healthy buy here. They don't need an AWP on the T side especially, so 5 rifles, basic utility, it's more than enough, but still not ideal. You're 6-0 down against the world's best team on a map they're very well versed in. You can see Dupree. That's what you call an off angle. That's a classic off angle because you're coming on that corner expecting him to be towards Arch. If he's not, you can take an educated guess. It's going to be clear. But Dupree holds in a really awkward position. Sure, he's vulnerable to flashes, but you can see how that risk works off if they do not check it.
Just a note on the other stream, obviously we've got MVP and NRG. It's 9-6 for NRG at half. That game for survival.
Yes, indeed. And it was North that took down NRG.
That's right.
After
and
they
Astralis that took down MVP.
Yes, indeed.
That's how the group works. NRG is a team definitely that can upset. They can pull some strings in this event.
Oh, yes.
Even if, sure, okay, they've got to fight for survival now against MVP. If they're successful in that and they go up against North again, perhaps, in a best-of-3 situation, chance that can be menacing. Molotov down, top side of Banana Smoke as well, and everyone will subside for now and perhaps be somewhat content with the proceedings thus far. We're at minute 26. No need to get too aggressive and, I guess, a little too eager on the north side. Good Molotov, lands front side of the Arch, forces back Device. In fact, he'll go for the rotation toward Arch instead. So he wants that op shot to be close. He doesn't want to give up the top side of middle easily. He's not willing to go passive. I say that with the secondary smoke in front of Library. He does rotate back in that direction.
This is also telegraphed, though. You can see Astralis more than ready for this. They've got players on the bomb side, rotations towards Library. There's been no fake. There's been no presence towards B. It's all looking so promising. And look how easy these shots are for Device. He's a world-class talent. You've given that sort of opportunity. He's going to hit the shot every single time. And North just seem off here, man. They're getting nothing out of that round.
This comes to Cadian being the new in-game leader. You're right. That was pretty telegraphed. You could see as soon as the smokes were down, Device figured out what they were doing. The fact that they weren't being aggressive and there was no other presence on the map. You just pointed out something. KRB is an agent.
Oh, yes. For Her Majesty service as well.
Yep. And the score is representative of that of the other direction.
Indeed.
At 7-0. So, but you're right. It looked very easy. They rotated over. They had immediately coverage from Arch, the op at Library. As soon as the smoke was gone, they were sitting ducks.
Tech 9, Steagles, and a few smokes here. Not the most ideal setup. We'll see whether they can maybe get a bomb down here. It's these sort of rounds is where teams usually arrive and they're getting battered like this. Still very early days, but they can still win the half. I don't get too carried away at these points. They can still bring this back to like a 10-5, no problem. So it's not massively detrimental right now, but certainly not ideal as they commit towards quad. That's a nice structured approach here of all the players. You can see the Molotovs are decent as well. It's going to make things a little bit uncomfortable, but still ultimately fine here for Astralis. The bomb goes down. Kiabi isolated on the A side, and at this point, looking for another frag. He's going to have no HP to deal with there. You can hear the roar. We've got the players nearby. Every time they win a round, they're getting fired up. Wasn't the best showing at all in their home arena for Astralis at the weekend. Really wanted to get it to the grand final at least. Could barely manage that, and it's just going to happen occasionally. It keeps happening at that particular event for them. They win a ton of trophies leading up to Blast.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
It falls apart.
Yeah, it's the one event you'd want to win, right? It's the home event.
Yeah.
Device didn't get to play in it last year because Dennis was stepping in. He was sick. He had illness. So, 8-0. Yeah, you're right. Imagine it's just resumed duty now. Go back to winning everything.
Yeah, right.
The one blip on the radar. Sorry about that, lads. Kiabi with a Molotov. That'll clear out the corner. Glaive won't be able to sit here quite as comfortably. Tries to fire into the wall and actually hits Kiabi. So things going from, bad to worse and worse yet again as a nade lands. He goes down to 3.
Yeah, that is getting absolutely torn apart here. This is too much. An opening pick, then Kiabi tagged down to 3. How do you even operate now? How do you successfully break down a bomb site as the relentless utility is deployed? They just can't move right now. Kiabi's just having to boost up Cadian, and you can see this is just not looking good for them. They look a little bit out of their depth right now. The smokes go down, the flashbang combo as well, and they're going to start to hold up. All 4 players here, if they want to fall back, it will take them so much time to go dissect second middle, T steps, and top of mid. They have to commit towards B, really. There's no two ways about it. If they fell back now, they have no idea what Device is. It's Glaive who's got the secondary orb, not too pre, just to note that. Glaive has been playing unbelievable Counter-Strike recently. Here comes the final commitment. Like I said, they couldn't afford to fall back. Just have to hope this works out for them. Zipex, the master of the B bomb site, all lined up. He'll get 2 and lives to tell a tale as well. 5 players remain for Astralis, just 2 for North.
He nearly got Kiabi as well as they were directly in front. Thought he was going to have more intruders on the right. Otherwise, that bullet might have found his intended target. 3 HP, though. Not like he's going to do much. Nade's going to bounce back toward Ruins. It'll do significant damage onto Device, to be fair. As he gets knocked down to 54, they're going to try and get the bomb plant. This will be the second. That is denied. Kiabi with 3 was all too easy. Zipic steps in, and Cadian now with 10 seconds wants to save the AWP.
They're not going to kill him until the 10 seconds is up, I would imagine. Wait till it runs out, then push him. He'll get no cash, and you'll see them rush towards his position. Now, go for it, boys. Take him down. And there it is, no money at all. So they cost them a couple, but still, it's much more beneficial for Astralis in this particular instance. That actually suffocates North now. They could normally buy with the maximum loss bonus at this stage, but they waited, cost them 2 frags. Astralis a ton of money. Cadian goes into this round with $750. As Zipex looking so strong. To be fair, the entire Astralis machine is looking very efficient right now, I have to say. A double AWP setup, a flash in the pan, perhaps they don't pick it up or reinvest into that setup once more. And North will take a tactical timeout. He's going to take some speech here from the coach to get them back in this game, I'm afraid. 9-0 down. You've got Nuke next in the best of 3 against Astralis. I think it speaks for itself. This ain't looking too good. Cadian's actually just brought up a smoke and a flashbang. Couldn't even afford armor. He'll be there with a Glock. Someone's going to have to drop him a P250, surely. There it is. P250 for him. No armor, a few smokes, and a UMP for Gade. Now, this could be done already. It doesn't look like there's any light at the end of the tunnel for North here.
You know what I would do if I was in that tunnel?
What would you do?
I'd just suffocate.
Okay.
I'd lay down and let the oxygen run out.
Brilliant. Thought you had something clever there, but no.
That is
just a dark
clever.
thought.
It's what I would do.
Yeah.
It's the best way to go. Nuke comes up next, by the way.
Oh, there we go, AZ. This sometimes can happen. You can get a bit carried away with your winning ways. and they're going to try and pounce on this advantage they've got. It's going to be Dupree on the other side, looking for double kills, not going to find it. Bomb goes down, so a bit of a telegraph sequence here, but this is looking much better now. 4 players to the good. It will be Glaive now holding towards Arch. And you can't really do much about this. It's a guaranteed frag for Kiabi, and looks like it will be a round for them as well. Who would have thought the round that they have no money on one of the players? It's going to be Mages looking to cause some damage here. He won't be able to win this round, but every kill he can get, certainly valuable, and he'll get none. North arrive on the scoreboard.
I can hear them cheering for that.
They're going to have to.
They definitely got a vocal presence after that round. Kiabi getting the kill as well. That's fitting because he was certainly well and truly off the scoreboard for the longest of times. In fact, well, actually, he's got up to 5 now. That's pretty good when you consider that that's the highest on the team, which is also very sad if you consider that this is round 10.
Yeah, those are both very good points. So reset potential out in full force here. North need either to save weaponry, plant the bomb, or just win the round. That would be great. Can't afford to lose it, really. Will be a fully equipped Astralis with 1 more buy in the bag as well. Device a little bit more tentative this time, seeing as he fully committed previously. Throws the HE. Is it going to be enough to get to its position? Not quite, but he does fall back. Going right towards the bomb site here. You can see North has changed the pace up completely. That is sticking in a 5-man unit right now and just running around trying to find frags. It's effective towards the Arch as AZ lights up Glaive. It's up to Dupree now to try and follow things up here. He'll get 2. There's damage to Cadian as well. And now they're isolated, Matt. They know they are out of position right now.
Device, though. Look at this. Oh, no-scope tried it. Went for the quick. Couldn't find that either. It could have been the pincer, but Majisk still in good enough position to hold them at bay. The problem is him going down now opens up the A site, and we get into a one-on-one. But who else other than Xyp9x to be in that against Valda? 2 kills for Valda in the round. Xyp9x hasn't made contact. Obviously rotating over, being the anchor of the B site. He'll arrive cold, if you want to call it that, because they still have the upper hand in the money, especially if they win this round. Smoke as well. Just to note for Xyp9x, that will aid in the defusal. More so, he's got the kit. Checks the Vespa. Oh, that's even more clever.
Dear.
Smoke him inside of the apartments. That's going to mean he has to run out from it. Even if Xyp9x touches this, he has to go so far wide. It's not about, oh, he didn't find it. He actually messed that up.
I think he did, you know. That was looking so good for him. Valda, another fantastic Danish clutch shot. That's 2 of the best going toe-to-toe right there. You could see the mindset and the ideas behind them as they're going into that clutch. Valda wants to get all the way to the apartments and be in a really strong, advantageous position. The smoke down there, you think he's done for, but it's maybe a little bit too deep as he gets out cleanly. Xyp9x fumbles the defuse a couple of times there and wasn't ready for the peak. North are on the precipice of the game right now. They can get this round, they'll break Astralis down to an eco and can bring this back right to a 9-6. That was a huge round.
So 32 HP already for AZ. Cadian will get smoked out of position at the bottom of Banana, and AZ will have to keep himself alive with a smoke on top of the flames. That shuffles him over toward with 1 HP as well, just to note, toward the tree position. Shot, AK, good find, good hold from Valda, and no response from Majisk. So the opening pick, despite all of that damage, still going the way of North. They'll go against Device in the AWP. Again, you mentioned it. This could be the break round. 2 in a row. They'll bait out the shot. Device forced off the angle. Xyp9x with an SMG has to run and gun. Run and gun. He shall. And with great success, he'll find 2. He can rotate around toward the Ruins position, but already tucked with her tail between their legs. They'll run back toward mid instead.
You can see how important it is to save that one smoke when you know they're committing as well. It segregates the terrorists, and especially got the UMP, close range, are running through a grey screen. It's so strong. Well played by Xyp9x, and same story for Glaive as well. He's holding strong towards the arch. Mage is no stranger to the pit either. 30 seconds remaining, getting himself on the bike, trying to deny the plant at this point. There's significant damage towards Kiabi. Alley-oop for his teammate Glaive, and Cadian, no choice but to save here. Sure, they won 2 rounds in a row. They avoided the reset a couple of times, but only 1 player survived previously. Cadian makes a lot of noise here, and we'll see if there's enough to buy. I don't think there is, Matt. Gade 1400, Cadian, same story. They might just have to buy up here and see whether they can get it done with the pistols and a couple of rifles that will be available. But what a play this is. Xyp9x is the absolute master of the B-bomb site. See you later. Device's AWP is nothing to do with that. That's all Xyp9x. and the force buy does come through. It is very expected in these sort of situations because you have 1,400 now. You're only going to get 1,900 next round, so you might as well force here and try and break your opposition rather than take a double eco, for example.
Free swinging around. He'll catch out Cadian. That's a good aggressive push from Astralis. Trying to really stick it to them, Henry.
Oh, we like that.
Depends on what context we're talking about.
This one.
All right, Device gets Gade as well. And that means now he can hold toward top mid comfortably, having already found one pick. They've already thwarted any possibilities, but little does he know, oh, he's done for. Goodbye. Kirby gets in apartments. They didn't even have that considered, to be fair. So Dupree, back out, good timing. Kirby with the AWP was looking the wrong way, and that's a pretty good lineup to close out the round with all three of them. And look at the money, there isn't any.
They have to be careful last round, or just force by the next two and hope for the best. This is like pick your poison time. I use that phrase a lot, but it's really fitting here. The fact is, like, you take a full eco and let them get 12 on the board, or you take the force buy and maybe compromise the entire map, but you might be able to get 11-4. I would say take the eco here, if I'm honest, but both options, I guess, are viable, but this is the most compelling. Round 14 and an absolute slobber knocker in store for Astralis here.
Slobber knocker.
They're going to have absolutely everything at their disposal against unarmored players. And Glaive might be the one to be challenged first. I think they're just rushing apartments here. They'll go through the flames first. They just have to go for it, boys. Out we go. Dupree waiting on the other side. He'll be working with Device, and it's a very easy and clinical round for them. Just Cadian waiting to steal a gun away, but there's no reason to hunt them down. They've got nothing. You can use it as like a bit of a timeout for the next round as well.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely. Draw it, and the man that's alive is the man that needs to figure out what the hell do they do. How many bomb plants do we have now, Hank?
How many what, sorry?
Bomb plants do we have now?
Oh, I think, well, they won 2 rounds of just fragging out.
Yeah, sure. And well, and one of those was with a bomb plant.
Sure,
but
so 2, I guess, then.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. There was only one where it was diffused, though. That's shocking, really.
Well, Cadian tries his best. Like we said, might as well use that time just to chat to his teammates about the AK. And do they have anyone available? They could buy one, I doubt it. The AKs they have available in this round, there has to be 12-3, 13-2 against Astralis. You're just done for, I'm afraid. This hasn't been strong enough. As you can see, they did start 0-9. A comeback that only 18 of 300 teams have ever made. Okay, that really doesn't bode well. All right, then. Well, just to paint a grim tale there. We will get into the final round of the first half. They did have a couple of good rounds, but unfortunately this was way too late as Astralis completely dominated the banana at the very start here. Glaive will have the smoke down the T steps, follows it up with the incendiary to make sure no one can push through it. Good HE towards that position. AZ will swallow that, but Device will take a headshot, but quickly answered back. Gate will be dropped to the floor. Dupree now rotates towards the pit.
Flash goes up and over toward the pit position. Zipic still finding Cadian first, though. So 4-on-3. They'll rotate back down toward Banana instead. It's Glaive at the ready this time without the aid of Zipic, who's on rotation. We'll try to hold off Solo. See if he can match the incredible feats of which Zipic obviously delivers time and time again. 12-2, Hank. Did you really think we would be here?
I thought North might take this map.
It's their choice. I mean, Nuke's next. That's the scary part.
Well,
that's only one, so that's actually not bad. The problem is they don't have utility to cross. So trying to get this bomb down, they've got to go against Zipic. He's always around, isn't he?
Yeah, and this is the final round as well. It's not like, oh, get the plant down. That's something. Wow. This is just an absolute whitewash. 13-2. I won't say it's over because we have seen comebacks to this level before. But anyway, it's going to be time for a break, a chance for North to reflect on what's just happened. 13-2. We'll see if they can do it after this half.
Welcome back, 13-2 in favor of Astralis as they now go on the attack on Inferno. It is North's choice. So a pistol, what does it mean? It's not quite a double rainbow. They got 2 rounds though.
It means a lot here. If North give away the pistol, Matt, it is over. It's done. We move on to Nuke pretty much. Dupree's got 20 kills at half. That ain't bad at all. North, they're going to need to replicate those numbers here to stand a chance and to even get deep into this game. We'll see what they can do here. They've got 5 sets of armor. We've got 2 PT-50s for Astralis here. That's Magus and Glaive. Watch out for their headshot potential. A couple of smokes, 1 flashbang suggests they're going towards B for me. And they're going in quickly as well. Kiabi and his trademark shaky aim, unable to connect the first few shots. But there are 3 players here for North. They need to start finding the headshots, though, Matt.
Carry backing away. Good shot from Volta. That'll certainly slow things down on the take, but it's Glaive and Magisk. They immediately respond. Like, I'm talking like immediately. Like, you press send and it delivered. As Cadian goes back towards CT, so too will the T's. In fact, they're going to rotate back over to an empty A bomb site. This is sold all due to the fact of the depth inside of the back of the site. Dupree, there alone, is holding all of the CTs. They've realized their problems, and he's going to catch them in transition. This is brilliant.
This is so good. What are you going to do? Dupree's is killing everyone still. That's supposed to be the fake, and it's just done. Gade will have to go above and beyond here to stand a chance. Remember, no kits purchased into this round. He's got to kill 3 Astralis players, defuse a bomb, and he has no idea where it is right now. That was an absolute bloodbath.
Get gamed on, though. That was sick. Dupree just goes, nah, I'm already stuck in here, boys. Know where they all are.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's normally good for like 1 kill there. But he kills everyone on the B site and just confirms the round. It's like, they didn't even get a chance to show how smart they were. He just killed everyone. Look at this. They were supposed to be saying, right, now you die and they'll feel really stupid when we go back and plan A. They just killed everyone. Okay, well, trying to do my best.
It's pretty clever because he catches them running, right? Like, that's a long position to run back towards CT. 14-2.
They have to buy, right? No ecos here, I'm afraid.
Wow, that's, yeah, absolutely. Spend all that money. Don't get an investment guy. He'll tell you to save it. That's a bad idea. Buy a race car. That's a great idea.
There, yeah.
Thank you. I'm really just trying to cultivate an entire new generation of race car drivers. That's all I'm here for, Henry.
It's
using my influence for the good.
Difficult hobby to get into, but I respect it.
It's not bad. Well, AZ boosted. They're all going to have to be a little boosted in this round, I'm afraid. They have bought, as you say. There was no choice. They've got a scout in the hands of Cadian and 2 SMGs. Pistols are the ones held on high, and that's good enough for AZ. Glaive had no idea he was there as he was on the edge of the smoke.
I'm a little bit surprised Astralis are that combative at the very start. The fact that the smokes are down there, you haven't really checked boost. It's only 1 player going down, but still, this seems unnecessary considering the time remaining. You've already baited out the CT utility. But there it is, nice response from Device. It's Kiabi boosted up. Gets over frag. This is really disjointed from Astralis. It's going in 1 by 1 and challenging smokes. I'm not really sure what they're up to. Oh, how do you? Have a good little, boys. And this is horrible from Astralis. One of the first horror show moments of the game so far.
That was very, very tasteless almost. Walking in 1 at a time at the end. So they give a round back at 14-3. They give the momentum away. Now, look, that's a long... I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the momentum shifted such that they're going to win the game, but it certainly draws this out, and Astralis, I'm sure, would like to have just closed that and moved on.
I think that was just a kind of drop in concentration for a second. Maybe he thought this round's over. We're just wondering, we're going to kill him. What's ever going to happen? But against those smokes and you're going in 1 by 1, against CZs, you really do have to be a bit more careful than that. This isn't a foregone conclusion. North are world-class opponents. I don't think you should be giving anything away. I think they could have maybe done a bit more with that. But still, well played to North, capitalizing upon the opportunities they were given. That's all you can do. And they'll find the kills. And indeed, the first one here, a couple. Glaive and Device go down. This was a full investment as well, so this could be a window of opportunity. It's going to take a perfect game from North at this point, but so far this round is looking exceptional for them. 5-3. Barely any utility for the terrorist side. Magus and Dupree will just have to hunt around for any sort of opportunities here. I'm not sure there's much on the table for them, though.
Still just hanging with the Deeg. Oh my dear Lord. I normally can keep myself composed, but whatever noise just went through my head literally took 6 years off my hearing.
Oh, God, okay.
Wow.
Back in the room.
That was unbelievable. That actually startled me. Apologize to everyone home, has no idea what's going on. I hope that didn't go into your ears as well.
I'm like quite hard of hearing as well. I've got my game and mixed S on maximum volume, so I just got absolutely wrecked. But it's fine.
I think it did, based on chat's reaction. You're all with me on that. Oh my God.
My heart actually skipped a beat.
Yeah, it was so scary.
Yeah. Oh well, that woke us up.
In the quietest moment of the round too, like
just as everyone's falling asleep with this game, I guess, is like, wow, we've got to wake them back up. Let's go. But there we have it. 14-4. An eco for Astralis. So, Dupree's buying?
Dupree and I have Magisk and I have the same glasses now. That wasn't Dupree, that was Magisk, I know.
I didn't catch him.
Yeah, we both look a bit like Harry Potter. TV. We're actually trying to figure out who we're better for. We're entering a trip to be in the next Harry Potter movie.
And they submit his movies because they're like 30 years
They're going to do
now?
a reboot, just like they do with every Hollywood movie, to make money.
True.
As Magisk takes down AZ, good start. They've got guns again on the Astralis side. This isn't... Or excuse me, they have guns again on the north side. It's not for lack of trying. It's just the pistols finding the aim. Magisk with both of them, in fact, on that deco. So Gade's got to be ready inside of the site. They'll try and jump around the box. Dupree gets him as well. Imagine this is how you secure map point.
Well, there's a dink as well. Valda might get the frag, but there's smokes, molotovs, and all sorts being thrown in his direction. Glaive gets the bomb down here. They have to go for it now. They can't save this. They have to see what's available to them. A nice idea with the boost. Will it yield a frag? I'm not so sure. Glaive seems to be aware. They're firing off shots through the smoke now. It looks like they might just have to. Once it's got to the point of it's impossible to win this round, I guess you pretty much have to save. But that's going to be map point. Remember, this is the best of 3, first of the day. Map point for Astralis, and it's nuke next, so maybe it is match point in that respect.
I wonder if this is through, though. Keep that in mind.
Very true. Loser's not out by any means.
Well, give you an update, Hank, of the battle for survival. It is 16-11 in favor of MVP after map 1. So they have taken map 1 over NRG.
That's quite remarkable, actually. NRG just won Summit in a convincing manner as well. And MVP, we don't really expect much at all from them.
Solo had 25 kills.
To say it, we know they've got skilled players, but we don't expect them to go deep in tournaments like this.
That was on Dust 2. We haven't even seen Dust 2 in a while, you and I.
That's true. I don't think we have. Did we cast it once at Blast?
Not at Blast. We saw it at Pro League, I think was the last time we saw it.
Yeah. Well, then, match point, ladies and gents. Map point. Made the same mistake again, but don't worry about that. And North at this point, it's just about building up into the series. There's almost no chance they bring it back to overtime, but you never know. Keep playing, take it round by round. Think about the next one. Just 11 rounds, it seems so unlikely. But they've still got weapons here. Can they hold on? Cadian with the AWP will be pushed back by the Molotov. Doesn't need to extinguish that at all. Fires off a shot just towards the half wall, so he can get any damage in, but nothing connecting just yet. Group mentality towards middle. Couldn't just wait there, that's fine. Little decoy from Kiabi, might as well buy that. At this stage of the game, you've got $50 spare, just grab it. And we'll maybe bait out a flashbang or some spam. I think they're underrated. We had this conversation the other day. I feel like more can be done with the decoys. But here we go then. North tuck themselves in on the A site. We do have Gade and Valda waiting for the arrival of Astralis, which is coming in right now.
Right lickety split. Smoke goes down. Gade, he's standing inside of the back of the site on the box, wants elevation to try and aid in covering anyone who wants to plant the bomb. Cadian's got Dupree, though. It's not bad. Good start to the hold. Bald. Fire the M4 through the smoke toward the door. Flash out. Wants his teammate to run back into it and use that to their advantage, but Magisk able to find the shot onto him over the wall instead, and Cadian has to be perfect with the op. He's not that quick. He's not that quick as Magisk gets him down, but he's suddenly found himself alone, left in a 1 versus 2 as Kirby found 2 kills in the process. So Magisk is going to go aggressive. Was he spotted? I don't think he was. Flash out. He thinks he thought he was, but we know he wasn't. Position away, but nearly got a lineup. Nearly, but not quite. Good hold from Kirby. Finds 3 kills to close the round, 15-5.
10 more like that required, and that came right down to the wire as well. Mages certainly capable of winning that 2 versus 1, but good teamwork coming through from North. Will there be the force buy again? Maybe, considering it's the exact same scenario described before with 2 of the players that can't buy even next round. But they have got quite a lot of money on Dupree and Zipex, so they're going to purchase up the AK. Is there anything more to be said about this round? They've taken a tactical timeout just to discuss their options here, looking to close things out early. Don't want to break a sweat. They want to finish this 2-0 and move on to nuke quickly. If you're not sure, about their performances on Nuke. They've actually got something like a 25-0 win rating online and on LAN with this particular lineup. I'm sure it's probably even further than that, maybe like 26, 27 maps. But damage done financially, and that's why Astralis will buy up into this. 3 pistols, 1 rifle, a UMP. Enough, actually. We'll see whether this is where it ends. If it's not, maybe North can get a couple more on the board. Let's have a look as to whether the AWP will be positioned towards middle of the start. It's not. Cadian will go towards B. Try and get the first pick and fall back. 15-5 and a whole lot of work to do here. Easy won't fully commit to the peak. Throws a nade towards the logs there. A double stack in the boiler room. Just to note that nade was successful. May just takes 30 damage from it. Easy makes a lot of noise though towards the bottom. They know he's there, and there will be an exchange of kills. So far, so good for Astralis as they spam further towards the top of B. There's a lot of damage done towards Glaive, but for now, Gade pushing towards middle, and that's a nice one as well. Takes down Zipex in the process, brings it back to a 3-on-3.
Cheeky little boost for Device.
Yep.
That was pretty sick.
Jumped
I think
straight
there
over.
was even a bit of like a run to that. It wasn't a full run boost, but he definitely got some movement out of it. 2 kills over the wall. And, oh, well, they'll cross the site. The disc gets taken down by Kiabi, same as the last round, this time through the smoke, and not quite the same circumstances, but we're in to a 2-on-2. Good flash, good pistol, good Glaive. Oh, good Glaive. Goodness gracious, Glaive. He goes down, but now it's on to Gade. His Device holds toward him, and he'll close it out. I think he spotted the gun barrel just a little bit sticking through. The X-ray actually makes that harder for us to see because it takes away the detail of the black in the smoke. But he spotted it, saw it, and it's now 16-5.
They just look way too strong today. Back to their old selves. Astralis run away with Inferno. That was absolutely epic from them. Great performances throughout, and North just looked a little bit too flat, Matt. But it's not over yet. They have got Nuke coming up next.
Mustard and Cake haters will say it's fake. We're going to take a break, and we'll see you in a minute.